All right. Well, before we go in, everybody, I want to hear any progress, any problems, and then we're going to go into budget planning for next year, so we can get ready. Of course, y'all know today is Giving Tuesday. Some people were not ready for it, but the work that we do today is going to get you ready, so you'll be at least a year ahead of time.
Okay.
Um, and then we're going to start plotting out your money for the year. All right. Any progress or problems?
I mean, I've got some progress, if you want to call it progress. I think it is anyway. All the applications are filled out. Um, uh, I got really familiar with pay.gov. It's a really easy site to maneuver or to navigate, I should say. Um, I think irs.gov also. I've got five clients that are waiting to have grants written.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get on the ball with that. These are four of them I've spoken to in person. I have
Mm-hmm.
yet to speak to the fifth one, but he's out of the country for the next 12 days, I think. But they're waiting, you know. I mean, I've passed the information on. They're very excited about that, to have somebody not only that's local that can, write grants for them, but someone that's willing to share. It's just amazing to me. There are people, Doc, that have your knowledge. I mean, I know you're the king, but the people that have your knowledge, they keeping this stuff to themselves. I don't understand that. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
all these other nationalities out here that are working together. And when you get brown skinned people, it's like it's a secret and I don't want to give it to you, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna give it to I'm helping everybody I can possibly help. Whether you ask me or not. If you don't ask me, I'm gonna come find you. But we got work to do. Got a
Definitely.
lot of work to do.
Well, congratulations
Yeah.
on having the clients, and then uh, been able to support those people. Uh,
Hmm.
um, let them know that they can trust you and doing good work for them. You'll find that there really is no shortage of money. Um,
Okay.
People have this scarcity mentality. There's much more out there than any one of us could possibly spend on any of our programs.
I
Um,
understand.
we just have to go after it. I was talking to a lady who's in the grant writing world, and she said to me, um, she said, "Wow, I wish there were grants available all year round." And I was like, "You're talking about there are, there are,
That's some grant stacking right there.
there are." And I realized when I was talking to her, she specialized in just one type of grant.
Huh.
Uh, that type of grant only comes around once a year.
Okay.
And so she does all of her work during that one time a year. You get what I'm saying? Um, and and so when I started to show her my strategy for doing this all year round,
Hmm.
she was like, "Wow." She said, "People should know about this." I said, "Yeah, they should. They really should." But so I'm glad to be able to share this with y'all.
Yeah.
So keep us posted, and I'm assuming you have the software so to make your writing and your support of them much easier and much quicker.
I don't have I purchased it. I don't have it. I don't know how to get it. I was on the phone the other day
Uh-huh.
with Trail, and I guess I'll get it at some point. But I'm anxious, not over anxious, but I'm anxious to get it going because there are people waiting. And I'd like to get them up and running, get them something before springtime.
Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
and
we
yes,
need to get on that. So Mark or Latrell, Olivia, please have somebody follow up if we need to reset his portal or whatever we need to do so he can have access, especially if he already purchased it.
yeah.
Okay.
There were so many people that purchased over the weekend.
Doc,
We
you got
turned
drunk,
those.
didn't you?
I,
You overextended yourself. I saw your post on
I
Facebook.
did. I was like, man, this is crazy. I'll just give everything away.
Oh, I laughed so hard when I saw that message.
I know. I was like, man, come on. You ever did something and then you're like, man, I hope everybody don't get it because it's just not good for business. You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it's the equivalent of like making some pie or some cake, and you really want some of it, but everybody eating it too fast.
Okay.
Uh, so I mean, it's the whole software, the whole
Yeah.
thing, and we're making continual improvements to it, so it
Yeah.
just gets better and better. Like we just put 200 grants in there that are for-profit grants.
Okay.
And it has the sponsorship letters in it.
Mhm.
The grant writers that I already have, every single day, they're writing more grants and putting more in there.
Okay.
And it's just, it's like, and I'm giving that away for $500
But you
plus
know what I
the
thought,
AI
Doc?
for grant writing, plus the my $2,000 course, which is the
Uh-huh.
bedrock of all this stuff. It's everything.
But you know what I thought about that? And this is, I'm always thinking something positive. Them people probably prayed for that. And the Lord just opened that door. See, now you can just laugh about it. And that's a wonderful thing because you can laugh about it. But they need that. It's just so many people out there. That's the seed that's been planted, and a whole bunch of people gonna get the help from that. So that's
They
a
do.
blessing.
There really were some people that said, it is going into the holiday season and different, folks' accounts are doing different things. They said, I'm glad I could finally get it. Not that it wasn't worth more, but that they can finally, afford it. So I'm like, well, yeah, I feel like I did my part in helping out.
Sure.
Yep. All
Wonderful.
right, y'all ready to get to work?
Yes, sir.
All
Yeah.
righty. So today we're going to start talking about budgeting, but I want to do it in light of actual grant proposal. Okay.
All right.
So if everybody can pull up an Excel spreadsheet, on your own computer, pull up an Excel spreadsheet.
Let's see.
All right. And you can't use your
Got some stuff on there. I'm doing a pricing tool. Just so you know, Doc, in March this year, I purchased a logistics franchise. I'm working on my first client. His name is Josh Watson. He's a gold medalist swimmer that works for a company called Sting, and they sell boxing equipment. Probably never heard of that company, but that meeting was set up by my best friend. You will know my best friend by his last name, which is Ferrara. His first name is Nello, last name is Ferrara. He owns the Ferrara Pan Candy Company. They make
whoa.
Boston baked beans, lemon heads. That's the guy.
Uh-huh.
I'm in his building right now, which is where my office is. You will meet him someday. He's just an amazing person. Um, but he actually wound up selling the candy company for $3.6 billion. He
Mm.
dresses like a bum, Doc. You couldn't tell if he had a job or not, the way he dresses. And it just blows me away. 3.6 billion and you wear flip-flops and jeans and a flannel shirt. I don't understand that, but
I know.
that's the kind of guy he is. But yeah, it's some great things going on over here, man. I'm so excited about this class. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But I am overjoyed.
Good stuff. All right. Well, you definitely got to introduce me. Lemon heads were my favorite candy,
Oh
period.
yeah. Yeah.
Lemon heads and then sour apple now laters.
Yeah. Those had the green. That was in the green wrapper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't yeah, the green wrapper. Yeah, but that's the guy. You'll meet him someday. Uh-oh.
The,
Let's see. Now what are we doing with the Excel?
yeah, I'm about to show you.
Okay.
All right. So, okay. So let's look first. You already have the Excel spreadsheet up. I want to show you a finished product, and then we're going to move. We're going to go backwards. All right. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So whenever you're writing grants, you know the three sections of a grant: your statement of need, your program design, and your outcomes. When you're writing the grant, you're going to write it You start with the end in mind. You start with the end in mind, which is the outcomes. After you do the outcomes, then you do the program design. And after you do the program design, you do the statement of need. All right. But when you're looking at the budget, you're really focused on the program activities that are part of your design. So what are the things that you're going to do? And most people have 3 things that they're going to do. All right. You take those things to your budget, and then you're going to build your budget based on those 3 things. So this grant proposal is a 2-page document that is that's for the housing program. Okay. So because we're doing housing, and this grant proposal allowed us to do a lot of different things, we actually put 10 things in here. All right. And I'm going to show you the 10 things. Because they allowed it, I put it in there. So number 1 is lead daily support groups. Lead daily support groups. Number 2, hire people with lived reentry and recovery experience. Number 3, 25 portable credentials. Number 4, connect clients with testing and medical services. Number 5, provide cell phones and 1 month of service. Number 6, refer people to service providers. Number 7, transport people to work. Number 8, secure vital records. Number 9, house people in sober living programs. And number 10, place people in jobs. You'll notice that when I write this, I always start the sentences with action verbs. When you're writing a grant, you do not have time to waste. So you don't have space for niceties. You want to make sure that everything you do is impactful without being overly aggressive. So you start your sentences with action verbs. And one of my sentences here does not make grammatical sense, but it does make grant sense. Right here, where it's at number 3, gain portable credentials for those who with lived experience. All right, that nobody would actually start a sentence with that. Like these other ones, what are you going to do? I'm going to lead daily support groups. I'm going to hire people. This does not make normal conversational sense. I'm going to gain 25 portable credentials. Actually, if you were talking this, you would say something like get 25 portable credentials, or help somebody earn 25 portable credentials. You get what I'm saying? When you're talking, you would say it differently, but grant writing is not the same as talking. What you're doing is appealing to somebody's psychology, and you're doing it through writing. So you want to start your sentences with action words. Lead daily support groups, hire people, blah, blah, blah. Gain 25 credentials. What else do you see I did with these 10 things, these 10 activities?
They're bold.
They're bold. Absolutely. The bold actually tells somebody to pay attention to this. There are other words on the page, but you work with somebody's psychology by making these words bold. All right. What else did I do to highlight these 10 things and make sure a person did not get lost? What else did I do?
You number them.
Parentheses.
You see that? I numbered them. So if a grant reader is reading this and they're tired of reading 20 different grant applications, what makes this easier?
Pretty much they highlight it so they can see it.
And
telling them exactly how many they have to look at instead of 20.
Yep, that's right. In adult education, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them that you told them. You tell them what you're going to tell them. I did that by saying the following 10 activities. Then I told them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You get what I'm saying? You want to make it easy and digestible for them. All right. So when I get ready, any questions about this before I go on? Because I'm about to leave this screen. Any questions at all about this, or even how you would do it? Okay. So when you're dealing with your budget, you need a budget for each one of these things. You need a budget for let me call on some names. Y'all, these glasses. All right. Based on what I've said, Dawn. I want Dawn to come off mute. Elena, you're off mute. All right, Janae. Janae's an experienced grant writer. She specializes in helping ministries. All right. Maisha, Reginald. Okay. I need each one of y'all to take one. What do I need money for? What do you think we need money for?
Support group to
Yep,
help
you
the
need
people
money
to
for
cope,
support groups.
hire the people.
You
Okay.
need money to hire people. Somebody else give me one.
You need jobs.
What do I need money for?
The testing and medical services.
All right, to connect clients with medical services. All right.
Don't forget about trainers.
Mm-hmm.
Transportation.
Transportation.
For jobs.
Say the whole thing. What do you mean?
Jobs for the people that you have in the program. You need jobs for them.
We do need jobs, but when we're writing the budget, it must be connected. Everything in the document has to connect to something else in the document.
We need a budget to provide the cell phones in the 1 month of service.
All right, money to provide the cell phone in 1 month of service. And I think that was Dawn that spoke up about jobs. We need money to transport them to the job, right?
Yes.
And we need money to get them credentials for the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how everything has to connect?
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to connect. So when you write it in your program design, that tells you exactly what you need for your budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here we have the first line. What is it, Dawn?
Support groups led by certified peer support specialists at $75 an hour.
Yep.
1.5 hours times 3 days a week times 50 weeks.
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. I want everybody to take a look at this for just maybe 2 minutes. And then we're going to ask some questions about it.
Now, Doc, you mentioned budget. This is an expense, pretty much an expense report. Are they one and the same?
Yes, they are. This
Okay.
organization gave us this budget, and I'm only showing you the top of the screen right now.
Okay.
The revenue is at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to show you another example in a moment. So who wants to go first? Tell me what you see, or even a question that you have.
How do you, okay, since you got the support group, right? How do you really get that number of $75 an hour to make sure you got the correct number?
Yeah. I made it up. I made it up. So in real life, facilitators normally charge somewhere between $75 and $150 per hour. The thing is that a lot of times, people have contracted with Black folks to lead a group for $20 or $25 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you believe me if I told you that they still charge $75 an hour and only paid the person $25?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a racket.
Yes, I believe it.
It's real. It is very, very real.
Wow.
It is very, very real. So what I did, just because I am the person that I am and how I am, I'm not going to, if I don't have to, I'm not going to get the grant money for 75 and only pay the person 25.
Yeah.
I want my program to be attractive. And so I got this 75 and I contracted with somebody to do it for 75. I did not allow my employees to do it for their hourly wage. I contracted with somebody in the community to do it for $75 an hour.
Mm.
And that way, whenever I call, people are happy to work with me because they know I pay.
Yeah.
So the normal rate for a facilitator, and if any of you do facilitation of groups, if they offer you 25, which is a normal thing for employees, just you can decide to take it if you want to, or you can let people know up front that your rate is between $75 and $150 an hour, because that is industry standard. What other questions do you have? Anybody else see anything else?
Program director.
All right.
How do you pick a program director? How do you choose a program director? And then how do you figure out what to pay that program?
All right. Well, I'll tell you, answer to your first question. How
Okay.
did I pick this one? This program director is my mother.
Okay.
I picked her because this was her specialty. She specialized in supporting, she's a certified substance abuse counselor.
Okay.
And so this is her population. In actuality, I created this residential program because she was already doing this for free. And I was tired of her doing it for free. And I said, Mommy, I can write a grant to get that covered for you.
Right. Wow.
And the way that
That was nice.
yeah. And the way that I decided on this dollar amount, you see the program director at $30,000.
Yes.
I have in this program, I had another grant, and you'll see them down here. I had another grant already to pair with this. So I didn't ask for 100% of anything. This 30,000 is not 100% of her salary.
Okay.
But I did, now this, what I'm about to tell you is very real. It's not scientific. It's just real life. I asked her what amount of money she wanted to be paid. And she told me she needed like 45,000.
Okay.
She had just come through a divorce. She was working a day job and she wanted to start over and buy a house. And in order to do that, she had to pay down some debt. She was already accustomed to working more than one job anyway. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to have my mama working if I can pay her to do what she would otherwise be volunteering to do. She has 4 years clean time. You get what I'm saying? She been out of drugs and alcohol for 34 years. She done spent her whole life helping people for free. I'm going to find a way to get her paid for doing it.
That's right.
And so I said, all right, 30,000. I already had the other 15 down here from somewhere else. But that's how I did that. Anytime that you are deciding on like how you would pay somebody, you can ask somebody or ask yourself, how much should I charge if I did this as a full-time job? We know that it's not the six-figure high-paying job that you might want, but if you were doing this for any other company, how much would it cost? And if that number is 50,000, then the answer is 50,000.
But you mentioned that you only had 30,000 here and you just took it and pulled it from someplace else.
Yes, I had other smaller grants that are down here.
That you put, okay, peer support specialists, okay. My other question, what is indirect? What is up here? It says total indirect program expenses.
Right, yeah. So every grant, it is known, but people don't do it. A lot of people don't do it. Experienced people don't do it because they don't want to go the extra step. In the grant world, there's a thing called the federal de minimis. Federal, DE space MINIMUS. Federal de minimis. It is a federal standard that says that when you're writing a grant, 10% of the budget should go to overhead and things that are not directly program related. And in federal grants, they actually create a line item for it. But in other foundations, they don't create the line item for it. However, you can always put it there.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I work with some very experienced grant writers, and they don't do it, but I put it in every single grant. Every one. If I write a grant that's $1,000, I'm going to have a line in there for 1%. I mean, for $1,000 because it's the federal de minimis, and the standard rate is 10%. That's the standard. You can, if you want to, you can negotiate with the federal government to get a new indirect percentage. And then based on whatever they approve, you can take that approval and apply it to all of your grants, even if they're not federal grants.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So right here, I took the 134 and did 10% of that. All right. Other questions?
I have a question concerning transportation.
Mhm.
Is that the purchasing of a vehicle, maybe a van, to use locally?
Hold on. Did they give me transportation here? Or did they remove it? Okay. So I asked them for 250,000. They only gave me 150, but I'm not complaining because it's only 2 pages.
Okay.
So I ain't mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I asked them for 150,000, and I asked them for 250,000, and they only gave me one right here, 148. Okay. And what I did separate from that, so you see here, they're paying the transportation manager. This has been turned into a PDF, so you can, like the rest of that, so it was 30 plus, what is that, 15, so that's 45. The rest of this money that adds up to 7 is over here, and that goes to my transportation manager. That was salary that was assigned to them, right? So what I did with this is a strategy that I call grant stacking.
Okay.
Because I asked them for 250 and they only gave me 150, I wrote an email to one of the other funding sources, and I said to them, I was awarded a grant for 150, but I asked them for 250. And you all help by giving me the other 100,000. And they said yes.
Praise God. Yeah.
And with that money, I purchased a van,
Yeah.
paid the rest of the salaries, and they also asked if I needed food.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Wonderful. I have one client that he has a not-for-profit called Norma's House, named after his mother. I actually help him yearly with feeding and clothing the homeless. All he wants is a van. Now, I'm going to get more than that for him, but he wants a van because he's been working out of his vehicle, which is a small vehicle. Other than mine, I have an SUV, but he wants a van, and that's all he wants. But that was mainly the reason why I asked the question, and that's going to help me to actually help him a lot more. So I appreciate that.
Vehicles are relatively easy. Your local community foundation will have no problem giving it. This program needs, we provide housing, transportation, and apprenticeship services.
Okay.
So this grant specifically dealt with our housing and our support. Our other grants paid for the vans.
Okay.
Which one? I think this one down here paid for a van.
Immediate opportunities?
Yes.
Okay.
No foundation?
No. This one, emergency fund.
Okay, okay, got it. Emergency fund, okay.
And this one paid for supplies.
Wonderful.
And then what is this? I don't know what that was. Anyway, all these paid for other stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I
do you all see how? Go ahead.
No, I just had a question about, okay, right there, say 30K for executive director. Are you doing 30K just for this project alone? Or is that what that person gonna get paid for that year?
This grant is just part of the whole. So this is just one grant. All of this is just one grant. Down here, they're asking about the other grants that I'm putting with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 other grants are going along with this. So this grant, out of this grant, 30,000 went to the program director. The other 15 comes from somewhere else. The executive director, that was me. I got paid 50,000 for the year. This grant paid 15. The other grant, piece of it was inside of each grant. Do you get what I'm saying, Miss Nina?
So I'm trying to say, okay, so total for the year, okay, just for example, you paying somebody $57,000 a year to be executive director, right?
No.
So what I'm saying is, are you taking this out in different chunks of the grant, or you just putting the total amount of that person's going to get paid for being the executive director?
This is what we're doing. The program director, that's one position. Executive director, that's another position. Transportation person, that's another position. All of them are getting a piece of this grant. But this grant, it didn't cover 100% of none of them.
Okay.
The other piece is coming from another grant. Because no grant is going to pay 100%, well, except for federal grants. They don't want to pay 100%. So you don't even want to ask them to pay 100%. You want to tell them, we're only asking you for half. We're only asking you for 25%. So my program director got paid 40. Executive director got paid 50. My transportation manager got paid 35. But this only gave me 30 for the program director. 15 for the executive director. What was that? 13 or whatever for the transportation manager. So where the rest of the money come from? It came from these other grants.
Okay.
That's why you always need more than one grant. So that you can say to the funding source, we're not asking you for 100%. We just need to take care of half of it. All right, Maisha.
Hi everyone. How y'all doing today?
Good morning. Or good day.
Mr. Hackett, I was late to class again. You know, I have that event this weekend, so I've been super busy. Can you please let me get a copy of this session of today's sessions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
We know you're running around getting ready for Saturday.
Oh my goodness. It's handful. I love it though.
Hey.
Okay, I have another question. Okay, since everybody getting paid, okay, just say, since I'm not going to be into this and I'm the one putting it into doing the grant, where do my fee come in at?
You cannot put a grant fee inside of a grant budget. What you can do, we have this indirect down here that you can use to pay for administration.
Send it low, I can't hardly hear you.
You can use this indirect to pay for administration or any type of overhead.
But what's the executive director? You getting paid, right? From that, you said you hired yourself to do it?
She said she didn't hire herself. If she hired herself,
Because
Yes.
I'm sorry, just say I got an executive director, but I remember him saying that we get paid like 10% or something like that, even though we not into the company. So you
Mhm.
can still get paid for doing the grants, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, let me clarify that.
I'm
You,
confused.
you cannot, that's fine. So you cannot put a line item that say grant writer $5,000 or 10,000. You cannot do that. Y'all got that?
Yes.
Yes.
You
Yes, I
cannot do
understood
that.
that.
All right. If the most of the time the executive director is going to be raising money for the organization anyway. So if you're the executive director and you
Yeah.
are employed, then this is paying you to do your thing.
Okay.
And all these other grants are also paying you a piece of it to do your thing.
Mhm.
You get it?
Yes.
That if you're hired by the company. But if you are not an employee of the company, if you're outside the company, like I am not inside of Black Wall Street. I don't get paid from Black Wall Street. I volunteer for it. But if I wasn't deciding to volunteer and I wanted to get paid for writing grants for Black Wall Street, what should I do? Where my money coming from? I'm gonna tell you where it's coming from right here. Administrative. Do y'all see?
Okay. So indirect.
Indirect. The
Okay.
indirect is your catch-all. That's your miscellaneous.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
anything that's not up here, but you need it for the program. If it's the light bill, if it's the insurance, if it's a financial audit, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
pull it out of here. And
Okay.
keep in mind, each one of these other grants has a 10% in that too. All right. Did that answer your question, Alina? If it didn't, you can ask
Yes, it
another.
did, but
Yeah.
for the indirect, so we don't have to, we could just leave everything indirect and don't have to put a label to it, even though it's administrative or whatever the case may be, right?
That's correct. Indirect and administrative is the same thing. Indirect is your catch-all. They what they believe is that there's some things that your organization need that's not up here in the line item. And you can use this to pay for whatever the organization needs. And if that's a grant writer, then they'll pay it right there.
Now, Doc, that's whether you're inside or outside.
That is only if you're outside.
Got it.
If
Okay.
you're inside, then they're expecting that it comes through a payroll line.
All right. All right.
But let's say that one of these categories went over budget, like you spent more than you expected on cell phones or materials or whatever. You just write them an email and you send them an updated budget. You say, this is the original budget, but I need to take from this line item and put it here. I need to move some from here and put it down here.
Okay.
They never have a problem with it. You just have to let them know. All right.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other question about this one? I'm getting ready to show you another budget after this.
I got a question, Coach. Do you prefer to be listed as an employee over coming out of the indirect to get paid? Or it's just up to the, yes, sir, or is it just up to the organization?
It is up to the organization, but for a lot of you right now, you are the organization. So you decide which one. For me, I knew that I was going to be raising money for Black Wall Street. And as a matter of fact, this grant was running from 2020 to 2021. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
I started Black Wall Street in 2020.
Mm.
I was volunteering for Black Wall Street, but I was getting paid by this company. I started this company in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting paid by this company. I was the executive director.
Okay.
So this was my money. All right. And I was getting paid by them. So I was volunteering for Black Wall Street. But if I wanted to, I could have also been an employee of Black Wall Street, but I didn't want to. I hired somebody else to be an employee. Actually, Bruce, he was the employee of Black Wall Street. So I paid him the $50,000 for Black Wall Street, but I was paid by this company.
Yeah.
All right. Other question about this budget before I show you another one? And then we start working on yours. All right, let me see. All right, so this is the grant that I was awarded last Friday.
Yes.
It's not that one, but it's fine. This is for the same company. As a matter of fact, this is for the same company and the same program. Same company, same program. So this shows all the funding sources. So the community foundation is where I'm requesting money from. I'm requesting 20,000 from them. I already had 10,000 from one organization, 8,000 from another, 10,000 from the county, and 309,000 from another agency. And this is where I list out how I'm gonna spend it. I'm spending 155,000 on transportation. And this, like, what was it that cost? What this one? I bought a tractor trailer, and so that's what this line item was for. I bought the tractor trailer. That included the maintenance package and everything. 155,000. Then the training and credentials was 25,000. Then the graduated pay scale. This is the money I gave to employers that would hire my people. If we took them through training and referred them, I paid the employers to train and hire my people. Well, hire them and then do on-the-job training. Then the technology was for the computer and the technology we needed. Personnel was the staff we needed. Indirect was 420,000, so that's 42,000. And housing, 10,000. So here I am. I'm saying to this organization, I already have these other grants. And I'm spending $362,000. I'm only asking you for how much?
$20,000.
That's right.
20,000, right?
That's right. That's all I'm asking you for is 20,000. And so this was the request. This column was the request. At the end of the year, I had to turn in the same budget, but I had to do an actual. The actual is where I say how much I actually spent. So I actually spent 7,500 from this line and 2,000 from this line and 10,000 for that. Okay. So now this is what I want you all to do. If you open up an Excel spreadsheet, a brand new one, pick any one of your programs. It can be your main program.
Okay.
Or it can be in anything with your program for the whole year. And this is what I want you to do.
Can you go back up to personnel, please?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I'm done. Now that there's program expenses. You got it in there? Okay. Hold on.
Coach, for the in-kind, what's the best way to document that?
The best way to document it
Mm-hmm.
is for you to create a receipt that has some lines for people to fill in, so that when people give you something, they just fill in the blank, and they give you the dollar value of what they have, the dollar value of what they've donated. Similar
Okay, and that will work for like volunteer time also?
for volunteer time, you want to sign in and a sign out sheet.
Sign in, sign out. Okay.
And they just put the time, and then you calculate it using the annual in-kind rate.
Okay.
If people are donating an item, they can like when you go to Goodwill and you donate stuff, they give you that paper. That paper you can use for tax purposes. And you can say, this couch that I gave you is worth about $100. And technically they just gave you $100. The other thing that can be done, if you receive donations of time from skilled professionals, they can give you a letter that says this is the value of the time that I gave you, and that goes to your in-kind donation. Or they can give you an invoice that is zeroed out, and the invoice has $1,000 on it, but then they zeroed it out as a donation. That is an in-kind. All right. So I'm going to go through the difference between these types of revenue. Grants are money that's given to you for a purpose, some type of program. Even if it's for your program as a whole, it's given to you for some purpose. You're supposed to do an activity with the grants. All right. A donation is given to you as unrestricted funds, whether they put it in an envelope, put it through Givelify, or drop it in your basket, or leave it at your doorstep. That's a donation. A sponsorship, when in sponsorships, they are getting something in return. They're getting advertisement in return. All right. In kind is not money. It's other stuff that has some type of dollar value.
like what?
Like if they give you a TV, they give you gifts, if they give you brand new sneakers to give away to the kids in the basketball team,
Okay.
that's in kind. Mission related revenue, and you want to be very careful with your nonprofit. Do not just run out and start doing business with your nonprofit. There's a school up in the I think it's in Pennsylvania. They opened a pasta company, and they make money from it. That pasta company, they get charged taxes on that. The reason they get charged taxes is because that pasta company has nothing to do with the mission of the organization. They just feel like doing it. Uncle Sam was like, yep, it's fine. You feel like doing it, but I ain't got nothing to do with your mission. So we tax you on it. But if it's mission related revenue, and you will always see me, and I encourage you to always identify mission related revenue or mission non-related revenue. You want mission related revenue. When you go to the Habitat Restore or the Goodwill Center, and they have jobs, like the people that are working, there are people that need jobs, or the stuff that's going on there is designed to help people. Like, even though it's cheap stuff that was donated, if you walk in and walk out without paying, that's stealing. You get what I'm saying? You were supposed to pay for that, even if it's like 25 cents for a shirt. But it's mission related revenue because the purpose behind the thing is the mission. And if they can do it, you can do it too. It doesn't matter if you're doing babysitting or cooking meals for seniors, or if you have a thrift store, or you charge people to paint houses or build gates or fences or whatever it is. If you can relate that thing to your mission, then it's mission related revenue. And then you have your subtotal. So your grants, when your organization is big and strong, you want your grants to be less than 50%. In the beginning, it's definitely going to be more than that. So don't trip about it. Okay.
50% for the grants. Okay.
Everything else is fine at 10%.
Oh, 10%. So donations and kind is all 10%?
Yep. Everything is fine at 10%.
Okay.
That's your goal. You want to get to the place where you have, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? You want to get to the place where you are not as dependent on grants. Eventually, you'll get there. In the beginning, everybody knows that you're just starting out and you're going to need grants for everything. Why is this thing? Now, this is going to bug me, y'all.
You got an extra percent sign in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate when you say don't get too dependent on grant?
When a person gives you a grant this year, they do not want to give you that same grant next year because that creates dependency to them. To them, that's dependency.
So that's why you have to keep on applying for different grants.
That's right. They want you to keep applying for different grants.
So it's a good idea not to go back to the same company, or just if you do go back to the same company, ask them for something different.
That's correct. Ask them for something different. But when you get involved with them, you want to ask them in the beginning, what's the best way to deal with y'all in year number 2? And they'll tell you.
You have 10,000 for the grants and 1,000, 10,000, what is it, 100,000 for the grants and the rest of 10,000?
Yes. And these numbers might be different. I'm just putting these here as placeholders for y'all, okay?
Okay.
But in the beginning, do not stress out if you have a whole bunch of grants and not a lot of donations. That's perfectly fine. But your goal is to be able to get to the point where you say, we have donations, sponsorship, in-kind, and mission-related revenue. What you're trying to tell them is that we have a diverse funding portfolio. We are going to do this. We only need you to help out. All right. Your executive director, this is a small budget and it's not very balanced. But if you only have $140,000, your executive director might make, like 40,000. And then you might have a program director that's part-time at 20,000. And then you might not have the admin if your budget is this small. Your program.
Quick question.
Yes.
What do you do if you end up going over your budget? Say you have a budget of $100,000 and you went to 7 different places to get the money, and now you exceeding the budget by like 70,000. What do you do with the money then?
That's a good problem to have. When that happens, you have a budget. It's called a budget revision. You revise your budget. That's all you do. There was this
Can
one
you
grant
expand
I
on
was
that?
going after. Yeah, there was this one grant I was going after for $500,000. If I would have gotten that grant, then my budget for the year would have been $700,000. But because I didn't get it, I didn't raise my budget. So I just went back to 250. If you get more than you expect and you can use it, then you go down here and you just rework your budget to show how you're going to spend it. Maybe you need to buy more supplies. Maybe you're paying for transportation. Maybe you're paying for technology. Maybe you're paying for vital records. Maybe you're paying for food. Maybe you're paying for rental space. All right. Or you're paying for field trips. All this stuff is in here.
And it absolutely have to come out to the number that you revised it to?
Whatever number it comes out to is what it is. So you play around
Okay.
this until you get it to balance out. So your supplies might be $10,000. Your transportation might be $10,000. Technology, you might have to buy 2 laptop computers. Your field trips, that might be $5,000. Your food, you might plan $1,000. And then rental space might be $500. Then your indirect, let's see, that's utilities. If you got utilities, insurance, accounting, legal, and then utilities for the year might be that. Insurance might be, let me see if I can use these numbers. Accounting for the year might be $600 for them to do your taxes. Legal might be $1,000 for them to do something. And federal de minimis. Do anybody remember what the federal de minimis is? It is.
Oh, 10% of the total.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 10% of the total. But you have to know which total we're talking about. Right.
Total direct cost.
Yeah. Well, no, not totally. It's more than that. It looked like we have more money to spend. Now, some people get bored with this stuff, but this is where you is what separates you from other people and puts you in a whole different category. So I hope y'all are with and really trying to get this. Now, I'm gonna put a box over here. Now, I'm really good at some of these functions. So you put a box over here and you do equal, sum, and you put parentheses. This box, comma, this box. Did y'all see that? I'm gonna do it again. Equal, sum, parentheses. You want the subtotal from personnel, comma, the subtotal from program expenses, close parentheses, enter. Everybody got that? Anybody have any question, any problems with that? Everybody okay? Y'all say something now.
It's good.
I'm looking,
I'm with you.
but somehow my numbers didn't come out the same as yours.
You might have used did you use the same numbers I used?
Yeah, I was just playing around with it.
Okay. If you use the same numbers I use, it should come out. Now y'all notice I did not do any of this addition in my head. And this is why. Take a look at this number right here. You see supplies? I'm about to change it to 25,000. You see it change everything else? That's why I use formulas.
Can you give us a quick overview over the formulas to refresh our memory on how to do it?
So right here, what I'm about to work out is how to calculate the federal de minimis. You type equals sum, that's SUM, parentheses, and you take your pointer, your cursor, and you click on the subtitle for personnel. Click. And then you do comma. And then you click on the subtotal for program expenses. And then you close parentheses and press enter. Did you follow me?
Yes. So whenever that is plugged in, how did you change it for it to automatically calculate the differences, the add-on?
What I did, because I use formulas, if I change one number, it's going to change everything.
Okay.
If I change technology to 7,500,
It's gonna automatically.
press enter, it's going to change everything. That's because I'm using formulas and I'm not trying to add none of it in my head. Right? So the next step, I go down here Lord, I feel some of y'all getting tense. Don't get tense. Don't get tense. We in here. We in here. We got it. Actually, you're almost done. All right. To get your federal de minimis, equals sum, that's SUM, parentheses. You click on this box. Times 0.10, close parentheses. That's your federal de minimis. Why did I do 0.10?
Because it's 10%.
10%.
That's right. All right. All right. What questions? Y'all bring me your questions.
I got a question after class. That's okay.
All right. Any other questions right here?
I just want to make sure I understand correctly. So as far as when we were talking about the budget's going over, so if I have like in the grants, if I receive like 100,000 in grants and donations, I have that 10,000, but I only spend 90,000 in grants. That 10,000 that's left over, it still has to go to what that grant was approved for, right? I can't use
Yes.
it anywhere else.
It has to go to what that grant was approved for, but you can also send them an email to redirect the money.
To redirect, okay. And then if I
You
went,
can say like, I thought I was going to spend it all on supplies, but I have 10,000 left over. Can I put it on transportation?
okay. So as long as I have the documentation from them saying it's okay, then we
That's
can do.
right.
But it does, since donations don't go directly to anything, if I'm under utilizing what was given, I have free reign to use the extra anywhere.
That's
without.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you do that diminutive thing again?
All right. I'm gonna delete this and start over, okay? All right. So you got this little box over here somewhere, right?
I see.
Alina, do you have a little box over there somewhere?
Yeah, I see it. Uh-huh. Can you hear
So
me?
to the federal de minimis, you put your cursor in that box. You click the equal sign, SUM for sum, parentheses. You're about to tell it to grab information from somewhere. Grab this box. So you go to it and you point it and click. As soon as you click, it's going to name that box down here in this box. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You do Shift 8. That's where your multiplication sign is. Times 0.10, close quotation, enter. Now, what happens, can you all see my screen? Let's say the field trip ends up costing $8,000. I just go up to field trip and I change it. I do 8,000. What you think gonna happen?
All the numbers change.
The numbers are going to change.
All of them. Subtotal gonna change, and my federal de minimis gonna change. So now when somebody asks me, what are my program expenses and what are my overhead expenses? My program expenses are 37,000. My overhead expenses are 12,000. Your federal de minimis stands alone. do not put it with anything, because what that'll do, it lets you tell a better story. I'm going to show you what I mean. Everything in the nonprofit world is about this story, okay? When they ask you, what are your program expenses? You can say, my program expenses are $37,000. How much you spend on overhead? What's your number?
31.
31 what? Thousand?
No, $3,100.
Yeah. So that shows that you're not wasting money. Let's say if you have, oh yeah, that's actually about right. All right. You want to be able to say that the most of your money goes to programming. You want to honestly be able to say that. Do y'all follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So the more you can put the more you can put in program expenses, the better. So if you ran an after school program and you had to pay rent, this is a pop quiz, y'all. If you ran an after school program and you had to pay rent, where is the best place to put it and why? And where's the worst place to put it and why? Somebody answer.
Program expense with a rental space at.
Is that the best place or the worst place and why?
Probably the best place.
Why?
Because you're being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're being honest, but why? What story is that telling?
It's telling them pretty much how much it's going to cost for just the rental space.
Yeah. It's saying we're using this money directly for the program.
Mm-hmm.
What is the worst place to put it?
Supplies.
Overhead expense, indirect.
Yep.
Okay.
Why?
You're not telling them where the money's going to go.
Yeah.
Directly.
Or they're not sure that it's going directly to the people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's some red flags right there.
Yeah. So when you look at organizations' annual statement, you'll see they identify program expenses and overhead, and they brag on the fact that such and such percent of all of our money goes to programming.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna speed up and do some totals for expenses. I use the same formula over and over again. My total expenses are this column. I mean, that thing. Oh, Lord. That thing, comma, that thing, comma, that thing, comma, that thing. Close parentheses. That's my total expenses. My total revenue. And remember, y'all, I'm not trying to do any of this math in my head. Do not do any of it in your head. Even if it's simple math. Why do I say don't do any of it in your head?
Human
You
error.
might mess it up.
That's right. You want to be able to let the computer do the work. Now that you have your numbers, you're going to say equals the sum this minus This tells you where you are. That means by the end of the year, you have 30,200 left over. That is good. And if somebody asks, how much of your budget is program expenses? How much of your budget is program expenses? You know, I'm gonna show you. This plus this. The people to run my program plus the expenses to run my program. Out of all my expenses, out of my expenses of 109,800, how much of it goes to the program?
97,000.
Yep. That's right. Now, I do things in budgets just to help my eyes out. And I also do it for funding sources too. Colors mean something. I'll teach that later on in another time. These are some advanced tricks. Just to help people build trust. The color blue is a number of trust. So whenever you do your revenue, I like to shade it blue. That is a psychological trigger to let them know that they can trust this number. Yellow is a passive color. This lets people calm. It helps people be pleasant. So I do not want them to be alarmed at this. Okay. A green, of course, is a number of money. So I want them to associate their spending with program. So if they're giving money, I want them to know that that when you give money, you're giving it to the program. Everything that I do is sending a message. And then when you deal with pink and red, you're dealing with passion. And I want them to care about the people. Do y'all follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Can you go over colors again?
Yeah. And the federal de minimis is there, but I don't want them to pay attention to it at all. Do y'all get what I said? It's there, but I don't want them to pay attention to it. Lord, I'm just telling y'all everything, ain't I? All right. Blue is a number of trust. I mean, a color of trust. I want them to trust that I'm going to raise this money. Red and pink, the colors of red, that's a number of passion. I want them to care about my people, my employees. Green is a number of growth and money. I want them to associate their funds, the grant that I'm asking, I want them to associate that with my program. I want them to know this money you're giving is for the program. The color yellow is a passive, pleasant color. Okay. And then the federal de minimis is there, but not there. Do y'all see how the federal de minimis disappears in light of all this other stuff?
Yes.
Well, I've kept y'all long enough. Y'all not come for no algebra class today. But this is how you construct a nonprofit budget. All right. This is your budget for the year. You attach it to everything. And when you're initially writing grants, you don't have to separate your program budget unless they tell you to. You can just send them this budget. All right. What questions do y'all have?
For the presentation I had sent you, I don't need these numbers on that, right?
No.
Okay.
You were doing the presentation, I would just have these numbers or the category and the subtotals. And that's only if they require it. All right. Other questions? All right, y'all. Well, if there's anybody here that does not have the software, you want to go ahead and get it. I'm trying to communicate how important it is. And there are some people that didn't get it the last time. And then they reach out to me and they, you know, they're not necessarily complaining, but they're kind of whining. I'm like, listen, I'm doing everything I can to get it to you at the craziest, lowest price possible. So there's no excuse for any of you not to have it. If you don't already have it, then you need to get it. It's going to make your whole life a whole lot easier. It is a whole different way of writing grants and getting connections and getting the money. And pretty soon I'm going to be teaching only specifically from the software. So if you don't have it, you're going to be left behind. All right. I'm putting my brain and my years of experience inside the software, in addition to the 60 million in grants that I've already raised, in addition to the other grants out there that are far beyond what I've done. They're all in there, and it's there to help you. So it's a very powerful tool, and I want all of you to have it. So if you don't already have it, go ahead and pick it up for the super low price of $500. It's $497.
Are you referring to all the stuff we have, like the
grants,
okay.
the software? Mm-hmm.
Already got
of course,
it.
well, you're in Elite. You already have everything. All right.
I have a question too. I have to call them because I'm having a problem getting, when you pull up the letter, right? The grant letter or the request letter, when you, is it supposed to just transfer your information over to that grant that you found?
Click write or you have to click use this template.
Okay.
You click that and it automatically pulls your information over.
And you have to have your information open, right?
You have to, at the bottom of the screen, you
have a
click,
personal profile?
Yeah. You click which organization you write, because it can write for 100 different organizations if you wanted to. Just click whatever organization you're writing for, like if it's Black Wall Street or if it's like your family foundation, make sure that is clicked and it's going to pull over that information for you.
I've tried it like 3 times last night. I'll keep trying.
Oh, man.
I'll try it again. Okay. Thank you.
You might need to do a study hall on that. I'll do that. I'll let y'all know when we'll do a study hall sometime this week on the software specifically, because I want everybody to use it. I don't want you to have it and not use it. But there are a lot of people that they sell stuff to people and they don't want to use it. Like I really like y'all. This is my life's work. I know y'all don't necessarily care about me like that, but I did it for y'all. I really want y'all to use it.
Man, I can't wait to use it.
It's like I done slaved all day in this kitchen making this meal. I just want y'all to eat. Come home and eat.
But
Doc, I can't wait to use it.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Clark. Mrs. Clark,
No, go ahead. I'm just saying.
People are asking you about being a grant writer, and I tell them I'm not a grant writer. But then, if I key in their information in the same thing as my company and key in and find them grants and submit it, it's a possibility they're going to have it, right?
That's exactly right.
I want to make sure I get something done on my side first before I can get them done. You know what I mean? I don't want
Hey, y'all.
with the ball.
Listen. My grant funder is calling me right now. Y'all be quiet. I'm gonna put you on speakerphone, okay? Shh.
All right.
Hello.
Hi, is this Jay Hackett?
Yes, this is he.
Hi, Hi, this is Melissa Cross with the Community Foundation of Western North Carolina. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing, Melissa?
I'm good. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and hopefully the week's going smooth for you so far.
Yeah, it has been going really well, especially since I got the good news. We were awarded the 20,000 from you all.
Yes, and so once I get done with this here, I'll get all your info entered, and I believe they're going to send that out tomorrow. Excuse me. I did want to confirm, so the email address you would like grant notifications, you would like them to go to blackwallstreetabl@gmail.com.
Yes, that's best for us.
Perfect. And then I normally read out the routing and account information. Just for you to confirm on your end. Do you happen to have that close by?
Hold on. Let me
Have the void here, and I can use that. I'll just
actually, yeah, you don't have to read out the routing number and account. Just use exactly what's on the voided check.
okay. Perfect. And did you have any questions for me? Well, I've got you on the phone.
Well, we were awarded the full amount. And we met with our partners yesterday with the Entrepreneurial Hub. We just wanted to make sure that that we were clear to get started.
So I would assume as much, like once we release the funds, it's on y'all's end, and however you want to go about it. Whenever we send those out tomorrow, you will get an email to that blackwallstreetabl@gmail.com. And that will have the grant letter attached that I was going to say, since this is one of the competitive grants, it'll have any grant requirements and descriptions, restrictions, and all that in it. And it does look like, I'm confirming here, that it's for that full 20,000 amount. Looks like it. So.
All right. Thank you all. And we're having we have our winter partners meeting. This grant that you all gave us was leveraged with a grant from the Chamber of Commerce and also from Duke Foundation. And both of them are going to be at our winter meeting. You all are welcome to come. If that's appropriate, I can send over the invitation.
Yeah, if you want to send it along, I'll pass it on to Elizabeth, our president, and our program department. I'm sure we would love to have someone, show up. So.
All right.
And you have my email?
I do.
Okay. Yeah. If you just want to send it to me, I'll forward it on.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day.
All right. Bye-bye now. All right, y'all. I'm back.
That was so cool.
That was so dope.
That's an exciting phone call. I look forward to having one of my own.
Congratulations. That was good.
All right.
And you invited them to come out to the event, which is great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They have to know that they're not the only ones giving.
Okay.
Because that lets them know that you're not totally dependent on them. They get to give $20,000 and they get to be at the party with everybody else.
Okay.
And they get to celebrate like as if they paid for the whole thing, and they're not. I know
their name going to be on the material and stuff as well.
We don't be print materials.
Okay.
we got a screen. We all gonna put their logo on the screen, but we don't be with money, child. But there are a lot of people online that be talking about stuff, right? They be talking about stuff. They don't know what they're doing. And it's sad because I know that they are hoodwinking people. And I don't want to get mad because I'm not trying to compete with them. I'm just like, don't mislead people. You know what I mean? I don't be taking people's money and leading them to nowhere. And I know these folks don't know what they're talking about. And this is just 20,000.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's just 20,000. And that's the information I'm giving to you all. So what other question? I just let y'all hear part of the back office. That call came because they have already awarded the grant and they need to confirm that they have the right routing number to transfer the money. All right. Any questions at all you have about that?
No.
You can ask me anything about it. All right.
So
So
what you having a presentation? Because I heard you say that you putting it on to the board. You're not doing
Yeah,
any type of marketing material.
yeah, we're not like sending out paper or anything. We're going to send them an email invitation. We're doing a holiday, we're calling it the holiday jam. But at that time, we're going to say thank you publicly to all of the people that gave us money. And we're inviting people that we want money from in the future.
oh, okay.
And we're going to present, I mean, it's going to be a party with a DJ and everything. But we're going to be putting on the big LED wall our plan for the next year. So that people can be excited about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Now you just said a party with a DJ. Where are you putting that at? Are you putting that under the overhead expense?
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly right. And if I can, if the invoice has anything related to technology, I'll put it there instead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's all about where the invoice and where I can qualify it. And the more you work with your bookkeeper or your accountant, you'll learn how to do more of this stuff. In general, whatever the invoice says is where you want to put the stuff. You don't want to waste your indirect on things that should be program expenses. And our DJ is actually a DJ that's in the program. He's one of the businesses in Black Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
But we prefer to use them because it becomes a program expense.
Yeah. Very wise.
Why are you shaking your head?
I'm gonna start calling you the GOAT, Mr. Hackett.
That's that guy.
Grant GOAT.
Yep. He is the doctor. He is the surgeon of grant writing.
Yeah.
I just think it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And Doc, I can only figure one thing with organizations that keep some of the money or however much money they keep. I mean, you're answering to God. They're not. I mean, the Lord will spank your behind if you did something wrong with that money.
You got to answer for it. And definitely mistakes happen. And in real life, I've made mistakes before, but you limit those by hiring good people, get an accountant. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And just make sure, like, that's why I say don't waste your federal de minimis. You can use money to pay for an accountant, and then you don't have to worry about these things. You can pay for a bookkeeper.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I know how to grow very, very fast, but I'm not an accountant. You get what I'm saying? It is easier to raise money than it is to account for money.
I heard that.
And that's why I hire people. Because you need it. I can raise money in my sleep. But when I finish with you all, I'm going to write 3 grants today.
Yeah.
Today.
I heard that.
You have some that you had us apply for already, but I still don't have my 501(c), so I can't apply for these grants until I get my 501(c), right?
Yeah, you can submit it until then, but your applications are still being done. Once you have your 501 approved, you just press submit.
Okay.
The only thing about
I'm doing that tomorrow. I'm doing that tomorrow.
True that I can't do it because of the fact that, remember, we was trying to do it in the class
can't get
setting, and they need the 501(c) to submit, even to fill out the application.
Oh, they need the number before they let you in?
Need the form.
Need the form, man.
I can't do anything yet either until I get mine.
It's okay. If you missed the truest deadline, which is November 30th, then you'll still be ready for the opening in February. And you're at the beginning of the year for Coca-Cola. You'll be ready for everybody else. So it's kind of like a bus. If you miss the first bus, the next one's coming. I just don't like missing buses. That's why I try to get everybody to move fast.
So since we can't fill out those different type of forms, what's next?
Prepare the applications that are going to come out. You can still do your statement of need. You can still raise money because you're already approved. You can still raise money from donations, from in-kind. You can still do your goods 360. You can still get partners to pledge 5 or 10. Matter of fact, Maisha has a fundraising model that works for her. What is it? $10 a month?
We do a $10 membership a month.
Yeah, $10 a month.
That's awesome.
With that membership, what do they do for the $10 membership? What do they get?
They get a newsletter. We do a parent giveaway package. There's a lot of times it's the parents that are also well, we do what is it called? Not the parent giveaway package. Well, once a month we give away prizes just to sum it up.
Prize.
And
Okay.
once you are a member, that qualifies you automatically to get maybe like a spa day, a gift card to the movie, you know.
Yeah. So they're giving to charity, but as a benefit, you enter the drawing to get one of these prizes.
Mm-hmm.
And if Maisha wanted to, part of her fundraising could be, and we did this in one of the classes, to get those prizes donated so it don't have to come out of budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Maisha, if you wanted to, you can assign one of your VAs or one of your team members simply to look for giveaways.
Okay.
That's their job all day, every day. Look for people to donate so we can give it away. Hotel rooms, vacations, dinners, nights out, movie theater tickets, concert tickets, all of it. If you're only giving out 12 things for the year, you just, hey, we need 12 amazing things. And if you get 24 amazing things, you can do 2 giveaways per month.
I was gonna say we usually go over anyway.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. At some time, would we need something like payroll done? The reason why I'm asking you that, I had a friend of mine call that works for Truist, and he does payroll.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works, but I think if I gave him some leads, so to speak, that he could help us out in some fashion. If you could direct me, or if I could put you in touch with him, just let me know that and I'll do it.
A nonprofit is an organization like any other business. So if you have staff, you're going to be paying payroll.
Okay.
Some people get it through their bank. Some people, like my coffee shop, that payroll goes through Square. One of my other companies, the bank is the payroll. And for my other company, we use the external payroll company. So you can do it however you want to. But yeah, Truist at the bank, they have payroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Well, if nobody has any other questions, then
I do have one quick question, just for clarity. I'm just starting my nonprofit, like I'm putting it all together and getting all my documents in place. But until I actually get the 501c3 done and get that letter, I can still go ahead and start getting donations and sponsorships to do an event, correct?
yes,
Okay.
you should. And I've tried to say this in nice ways, but I don't think people are really understanding. So I'm gonna try to say it in
Don't be nice, just say it.
Don't play small. If you play small, they'll treat you like you're small.
Yeah.
Okay? Play big. If you're going to play, you might as well play big. Play big, like you are the biggest answer for that community and you really are the expert in the thing that you're doing. So don't play small. Let people know that the grand opening is happening. The great whiz is about to arrive, that the solution is about to be here. We finally have a platform by the people, for the people, about the people. You get what I'm saying? We finally have people that have lived this experience, actually telling what really works. We've been doing it. We've been doing it on our own, and we finally have our 501c3, or we've been doing it on our own and we're about to create our 501, or we've been doing it on our own and we need volunteers to help us do it bigger. Whatever the case is, don't play small. Pick a date for your event, put it on the calendar, and plan for it. People need something to sink their teeth into. The volunteers need something to volunteer for. The donors need something to donate to. In energy, one of the laws of physics is that energy moves from areas of higher concentration to areas of lower concentration. And there are some pockets that are highly concentrated with money, and they're looking for areas of lower concentration. But if you don't even have a bucket for them to put the money in, if you don't have an event for them to give to, if you don't have any upcoming thing, if all you have is an idea, don't nobody care about your idea if you ain't got it on the calendar. Ain't nobody thinking about your stuff if you don't have a budget. It costs you zero money to create a budget. None. Create the budget. All it is you playing with numbers anyway. You might as well play big.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen? One person is going to see it and say, I believe in it. And they're going to give you. They might give you $50. They might give you $2. They might give you $20,000. And then somebody else going to say, oh, well, they doing it. I'm going to do it. Oh, they giving. I want to give. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Some people think that you have to start small and build your way up. Don't think like that. Start where you want to start. You know it's going to take steps to get there, but who cares? Do the thing.
Okay.
It's like some people be trying to learn how to swim instead of just let somebody put you in the deep end. That is so unconventional.
That's how I learned.
That work for the people that work closest with me. This is what I tell them. Go big.
Yeah.
Stop waiting. We don't wait. Matter of fact, repeat after me. Say, we don't wait.
We don't wait.
You don't wait.
We don't wait.
We don't wait.
When Alina came to me and she had paid her fee, and she came, she like, well, how are we gonna do this? I said, we're gonna start the grants and we're gonna fill out the 501c3 letter later. She said, well, how that's gonna work? Don't worry about how it's gonna work. But before the end of November, it's gonna work. Didn't I tell you?
I heard that.
And now she got a name, a program. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the name, program, her stuff is approved, the letter's in the mail, and she didn't waste no time. Yeah. And it's somebody else on the other side of the city talking about, I'm finna turn my paperwork in. We ain't finna do nothing. We doing it. And you learn as you go.
Yeah.
So I was quick question. So this I went and had a meeting yesterday with a lady. She it's a nonprofit organization called the Civic Center, Church Civic Center. It's not a church though, but it's connected to a firehouse. She said I had that space to do seminars and lectures and things like that. So you're saying for me to go out here now and pick a date and then draw people into that place in Cherry Hill.
Let me tell you exactly what to do. Let me tell you exactly what to do. Get her to put that in writing in an MOU and give her a big old thank you publicly.
Okay.
Name them as a partner and invite other people to partner just like they did. Pick a date, give it a big name, tell everybody that the most amazing thing is about to happen, a total different approach to blah, 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 blah.
Okay. It's going to be for entrepreneurs. It's going to be for entrepreneurs.
A total different approach, a brand new approach to supporting entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Invite everybody you can. I don't care if you got to pull homeless people off the street. All you need is a room full of people. Okay. Somebody is going to be inspired. Somebody is going to be motivated. Make sure you have somebody at least with a cell phone taking pictures so that you can let the rest of the world know what's going on.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's I don't pay for the spots. This place he's going to give it to me for that day. She said I can rent it out for my
donation. That's a donation. And let the community foundation know, let the city council know, the county commission know, invite all of them. Just like you heard me just invite the lady. Invite everybody. Invite your state representative. Invite the invite the president of the United States. He might not come, but it will be recorded that you invited him. Invite the president, Congress, state representatives, senators, district representative, ombudsmen, alderman, city council, invite all of them.
City council.
I'm not speaking euphemistically.
Okay.
If you were to look at my list, there are some people that never respond, but they show up, and when I see them, they know me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Even if they didn't respond. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You want to be on their radar. If you're going to play, you need to play big.
Okay.
You don't
Doc,
have to spend big, but you do have to play big.
that donation for that spot for Dawn, that's in kind, isn't it?
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
As in kind.
Okay.
And if I were you, I would celebrate them as our first major donor.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the other thing I would do, I would ask them to announce my event to their list. Can you send this out to your list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do y'all see how this goes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got it written down. All right.
All right, y'all.
Can you stay on
Well,
for a
y'all go
second?
ahead, Maisha. You need to stay back for a minute.
Yes, just
All
real
right.
quick.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
Now,
Have
hey,
a nice
Doc,
day.
somebody's gonna reach out to me for the grant writing AI, right?
Yes, Mr. Clark. Actually,
Yes.
I think
Was it
Miss Jenner's already sent an email.
Okay, I'll check my email then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sent it yesterday.
Really? Okay, I'll take a look.
Thank you.
All y'all
Make
get
sure you look in your
software,
junk.
and if y'all know anybody that needs a software, don't let these people come and ask me for no discounts after I done discount this thing 90%.
I won't do that.
Get it now, because our future meetings, we're all going to be using the software because I want y'all to get really good at using it
Wonderful.
fast.
I
Okay.
love that.
Thank you.
All right. Have a
Okay,
wonderful
Make sure
day,
you look in
everybody.
your junk
Love you,
mail.
Doc. All right,
All right.
bye-bye.
Bye, y'all. Maisha, you stay back.
Good.
Bye,
Have
Miss
Hello.
Dawn.
God
And
bless you.
the writers
Hello.
can
Have a good day.
Maisha needs something.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yes.
I just have a quick question,
Uh-huh.
if you don't mind. I'm in New Jersey and I'm filling out the state paperwork for the nonprofit, and I'm at the part where they ask for the statement of purpose. I just want to make sure that I put the right stuff there. I know you mentioned there got to be a certain words or something like that, so I just want to make sure I put something right there.
That's correct. Do you already have something in mind?
I want to focus on entrepreneurship and workforce development. Those are like the two
All
things.
right. So this is your mission statement. We provide support to entrepreneurs and workforce development for low to moderate income people in New Jersey.
Oh, that's simple?
Yep.
Okay. That was simple.
Okay, so it was, what is it called again?
We provide support for entrepreneurship and workforce development to low to moderate income people in New Jersey. Did you get it?
Can you just repeat that one more time? 1 second.
We provide support for entrepreneurship. And if you mean like BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, then put BIPOC entrepreneurship. That would make it even better.
Minority, you said?
I said BIPOC. You can use minority if you want to. BIPOC is capital BIPOC. All letters are capital. That means Black, Indigenous, and people of color.
Okay.
People, Native Americans, all the people of color. BIPOC
So
entrepreneurship and workforce development.
Okay. In New Jersey.
Low to moderate income people in New Jersey.
Thank you.
All righty.
You have a good day.
All right. Bye-bye now.
All right.
Okay, Maisha.
Hey, the revenue thing, the mission related revenue. I was just now getting into class whenever you were targeting on that. I wanted to know how can we pull all of that into Bootcat Seafood Smack? because one of our programs with Amari's Foundation is giving resources for the parents for like jobs and like making resumes. I send over the programs and all the things everything is broken down. If you could show us how to.
All right, so Bouquet Seafood Snack is its own company right now, right?
The for-profit. How do I pull it in with the nonprofit?
So you won't legally change anything. You're going to have to do something with the messaging, and this is what you do. You say this is a social enterprise that supports Amari's Foundation.
Okay.
My coffee shop is a LLC. It stands alone by itself, but it is a social enterprise that supports the nonprofit.
Okay.
All right. Mission-related revenue is
Mm-hmm.
when Amari's Foundation sells something at market. So if you had T-shirts that says, "My child is amazing too," you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you sold those, that's mission-related revenue.
Okay. I had another question. Say for instance, we got a paper from the post office where we could get discounts on postage.
Yeah.
Being that we send some of the donations from Bouquet Seafood Snack to Amari's Foundation, will that cover the postage legally?
Yes, it will. You will, yeah. So you do everything with Amari's Foundation. This is the amazing thing about having a nonprofit, is that when it is community outreach, Amari's Foundation can be the headliner.
Okay. We have it on the website too.
Yeah. And so Amari's Foundation says, hey, Amari's Foundation wants to celebrate Bouquet Seafood. Go to the grand opening.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And that means that the invoice can be paid by Amari's Foundation, and you can get the benefit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And my next question was, with the things we sent over, were you able to have a look at the sponsorship letter? I wanted to know if we were headed in the right direction, or we just
I have to rework the whole thing. You put a lot of information there, and what we want to do is really squeeze it down. It's best when it's one page, because the people that you ask for money from, they are not grant people. You know what I'm saying? People that give sponsorship, they want to know what it is, what you need the money for, why it's important, and they want to write a check. And so that's just a different type of writing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it was a good direction in the sense that it had information, it had a lot of meat to it, but it was too much.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But don't worry, we got
it. Last question. What is my last? Oh, the taping of this, because I have another assistant, and we're trying to get her up to par with everything we're doing. She learns real quickly. I wanted to know, this was very meaty, and this hit a focal point of what we were talking about in our meeting today. Can I please get this recorded as soon as possible? Because I noticed on the grant suites, we don't have any of the back recordings to like September 12th.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yes, we can. Olivia, where's Mark? Olivia, can you check in with Mark?
I'm here, sir.
Okay. All right.
Here.
Got that noted.
Yes. Make sure with Kevin. I'm trying to think if I shared anything that should not go out. I didn't let her go over my checking account information. And I didn't show. I don't think I showed anything super personal. I don't think I did. Well, yeah. I think it's good.
I'll send the direct link, sir, to Miss Maisha, and then the rest can get the edited version. Yep.
Okay. All right. No problem.
Thank you, Mark. I guess that's it. Did I have anything else on the notes? No. Okay. Okay. Nothing else. Thank you so much.
All right now. Yeah, have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, Miss Maisha.
You're welcome.